Welcome back to the Ritzy Travel Guide. My name is Bill. It's great to have you along with us. Now, what on earth are we talking about? Is this the most hated cabin at sea? When I put the title on YouTube, I wasn't trying to be sensational, but it is a fact that the cabin we're about to discuss today is one of the most controversial and possibly one of the most hated at sea. You may have read about it, you may have seen it, in fact you may even have been in one. What we're talking about is the Infinite Veranda Cabin. So what is that, and why should you even care? Well, it's a replacement for balcony cabins on cruise ships, meaning in coming years, balconies could well be phased out, a thing of the past. In fact, this move over has already stealthily started. It's already on the Celebrity Edge class of ships and some with Royal Caribbean, such as Icon of the Seas, and is also rolling out on the new MSC ships. But the problem is, Infinite Veranda cabins are getting really bad reviews. Not from everyone, but from enough to be really concerning. A couple of months ago, we were on the latest celebrity ship, the Ascent, which is part of their Edge class of ships, and booked ourselves in an Infinite Veranda, specifically with the task of trying to work out and analyse why there's so much vitriol. In just a moment, we'll show you footage from the cruise and the cabin itself. But first, let's just show you a floor plan. This is for a typical balcony cabin, like you'd see on any cruise ship. To the side are doors leading out to the balcony. Fairly standard stuff. Now look at the same plan, but for the Infinite Veranda. The cruise lines have decided you don't want a balcony anymore, so let's take away the door, delete the balcony, never existed. It's now just all internal space, no more outdoors. But put in a large opening window at the extreme edge so you can look out. So is all of this a deal breaker? Is it the end of balconies as we know them? Let's now look at the cabin, and you can make up your mind if you like these new changes. Okay, in we go. Cabin 172, Deck 6 of the Celebrity Ascent, filmed just a few weeks ago, so bang up to date. As we go round, we'll point out the good and less so. Straight ahead, that's the problem everyone is complaining about, but we'll come back to that in just a moment. First, let's have a quick look around the cabin, then we'll loop back to that big fat problem. Looking around the cabin, I think most would agree it's a very spacious area. It's bright, it's well laid out, with just about everything you'd need. The colour scheme is, what would you call it, burnt orange? Other cabins in this grade are blue. There's a decent sized sofa, that's nice to see. Design is what, IKEA-ish would you say? A cream washed look. The bed was comfy, mattress good. I didn't have my Egyptian thread caltometer with me, but the linen felt soft and nice, great. Next to mention, the bedside. USB charging points by the bed, but somewhat strangely only on one side, not the other. Why no USB on both sides? Come on, how much extra would it have cost to put them in both sides? Let's crawl under the bed. These are hollow underneath, so ample space to store your cases. We've got two large ones which very easily fit underneath. Looking around the cabin, lots of sweeping lines. No hard edges, no pointed corners, in case you stumble into things in the middle of the night after a drink. There's lots of concealed designer-ish lighting. Aircon vents nicely recessed, and a sort of pointless artsy decor in the rounded corner. Okay, let's look at the vanity area and what storage options we have there. We have 3 drawers, and look, they've even got Easy Glide. There's the normal mini bar. And what do you see inside? Yes, bottles of wine, mine. Don't forget, Celebrity permits you to bring 2 bottles of wine on board per guest on embarkation day. Make use of it. Now, a quick look at wardrobe space. How much can you fit in? Well, I'd have to say, that's really not bad. Could fit most of our clobber in. And here's the safe. Mini complaint here, it's not a big safe. You'd struggle to get a laptop in here. Make it bigger. And in the cubbyhole next to the wardrobe is the Wi-Fi repeater. Great to have that in the cabin as it gave good strong signal. Bathroom coming up in just a moment, but first, opposite the bed, there's a reasonably sized TV. Certainly large enough for the purpose, and a pretty reasonable selection of channels. A mix of news, sports and movies. No complaints there at all. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please do give it a thumbs up, as it lets us know we're on the right track and you'd like to see more of this type of material. Now, I know you have got a couple of observations about this cabin.
For me, one of the oddest part of this room is the fact that the bedroom door opens out.
Not in.
So what this means is you better not be doing anything naughty at odd hours.
It's a very good point. Almost all cruise lines, the bedroom door opens in, except this one opens out. Okay, now, next to the bathroom, which we'll go to in a moment, you have the control panel of the room. Ooh, look, it says 78. Why does it say 78? There's a reason for that. We'll come on to that in a moment. But let's look first at the bathroom. And great news on this front. We think it's excellent, spacious, bright, and well fitted out. You never used to get bathrooms this size on cruise cabins of yesteryear, but now even mid-grade cabin sizes such as this have a lot of room in the bathrooms, plenty of shelves and storage, and good headroom under the shower, and reasonable toiletries provided. Fittings seem solid and good quality, so full marks for the bathroom. It's really very good for the price point. Okay, so that's the cabin overview. Let's now zero in on what all the consternation is about. So back in we go, and the vast majority of complaints revolve around that window. And the fact that cruise designers are now trying to convince you don't want an outdoor balcony anymore. What they've given you is the equivalent of a sunroom. That's an indoor cabin with a large window at the end that opens. So, the number one source of bad comments left online is the fact that an Infinite Veranda Cabin is a window, it's not a balcony. But the word veranda normally suggests an outdoor element. But there isn't one, it's just a big window that opens halfway. I suppose you could stick your head out like a dog and try and catch a draft. Complaint number 2, when the window is open, the aircon goes off. Absolutely correct. Let's go back to the control panel I showed you earlier on. Why did it say mid-70s temperature in the cabin? Because for the filming of this, I had the window open, which automatically cuts off the aircon, and within mere minutes, hot air flying through that window, the temperature has risen all the way up. Didn't take long. In a traditional balcony, where you have a door outside, someone who wants to go outside shuts the door behind them. The aircon stays on. They're outside, it's still cold inside because the aircon hasn't gone off. Can't do that here. Open that window, aircon goes off. Complaint number 3. The captain can control your window. Yes, he can. There is a sign here telling you that in certain circumstances he can and will shut your window without your permission. Perhaps if it's raining or there's rough seas or window cleaners coming round. If he reckons it's windy, who knows? He can shut that window. Complaint number 4. There are no curtains, so if you want privacy, you have to use a blind. And that blind is slow and noisy. Here, have a look. When we were aboard, and I wanted to open up the blind early in the morning at sunrise, it made such a racket, it instantly woke up my wife. Not a happy person. Also, it's a big window, and the sun comes in during the day, so you have to close that blind. View gone. There is an additional feature. If you don't want to shut the blinds, you could also close these Japanese-style tatami frosted panels that are hinged. Looks quite cute, but once again, shut it, view gone. Also aircon gone too, because you can't have the window open and these tatami shut, because the aircon goes off as well. So they all look very designer-ish, but when I discussed with people on board, very few had ever closed them or used them. So that's the bad news. Don't worry, there are some good points. Let's go through those. So here's some positives. Benefit number 1. Undeniably, the cabin is bigger. You've gained the space that would have been outside, it's now permanently inside. So you have that sitting area by the big window, but you're inside. It feels part of a larger, more spacious cabin. Benefit number 2. On nice cool mornings and evenings, you can have that window down and listen to the waves and get all romantic and relaxed. Benefit number 3. It's more private. When you sit on a traditional balcony outside, there isn't so much privacy, you are overlooked. With this cabin configuration, there is no balcony. You can't be seen from outside because you're inside. But I guess you could do the same thing with an ocean view cabin as well, but those windows can't open. So this really is like an ocean view cabin with a window that opens. Incidentally, whilst we were on this cruise, we were not alone. Oh no. There was a film shoot taking place on the Ascent. Lights, camera, action! An array of actors and film crew, because that week they were producing a series of celebrity TV commercials. Each day a section of the ship was carefully filmed and photographed. I just accidentally walked past by mistake. I was just on my way to the Eden breakfast and they said, "Oi, you're in our shot." I said, "Sorry about that." To see how that panned out and how it impacted the cruise, keep a lookout for an upcoming video on our Ritzy Travel Guide channel, as in that we'll cover what happens when a film shoot is on your cruise and how it can impact you. Remember to subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell so you know when that video comes out. Now, we did film this cabin over several days to try and be as fair as possible to see if the cabin changed our mind as the cruise went on. So here's a few days later.
I like it for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think the room is rather sexy. Why I say that is because at night you can actually drop the window down, you can have the breeze sweeping through the room, and you can hear the lapping of the ocean and the gentle rocking of the sea. For me, I rather like it. I absolutely love this. This is what I call the fabulosity mirror. So it gives you a really nice glow. This is brilliant. It actually has mood setting. So there's morning, there's a movie setting where you can lower the lights, but just enough light so you can see what's around the room. 3 levels of lighting. When you're looking for your glasses, you want it maximum. If you're kind of like feeling a little bit romantic, you want to turn it half. And then there's movie setting, evening setting, sleep setting. Look at this. Have you seen this? To keep everything tidy, so you have a little charging port with 220 volts, 110, ample switches, and USB. This, I think, is rather clever. Yes, that's a very good tidy box, that one.
Alright, about to come to our final conclusions and summary, but before that, just to let you know, this video of course is all about the cabin. We have already released a complete review video on the ship itself, the Celebrity Ascent, where we go through all that it has to offer and let you know what we think about the ship itself. After all, it's the brand new flagship for Celebrity. Has it got it right? Has it got it wrong? You can see the video on our playlist, and here is the link for that one. You can watch after this. Now, we must point out that all is not lost if you want a balcony on these new Edge class of ships, but you want the traditional type. They have given in just a squeak and included a very, very limited number of traditional outdoor balconies. On Celebrity, they call them the Sunset Verandas. But they're only very limited in number, so if you want these, you'll have to book extremely early and hunt them down. So, at the end of the day, for us, because this has to be a personal opinion, everybody has a differing opinion, so I'm just going to give you our opinion. We actually really liked it. Yes, there are some negatives. If you're on a hot cruise and you put that window down, the cabin is going to heat up because the aircon goes off. So I think this type of cabin is perfect for spring and autumn, when the temperatures may be low 70s, that's low 20s if you're in centigrade, so you can have the window down and it's not going to get hot and humid. If you're in the middle of summer or an itinerary where it's baking hot outside, absolute 100% humidity, I think you're not really going to open that window. When we were aboard, we opened the window because it was a temperate time of the year. We were in the Caribbean when it wasn't terribly hot. Had we been there when it was hot, I don't think we would have opened that window very much. So at the end of the day, would we book Infinite Veranda? In the right temperature, yes we would. By the way, please do leave your thoughts in the comments box below. Would you like an Infinite Veranda cabin? Have you been on one? Would you advise others to go for it? We always love to hear from people. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us on the Ritzy Travel Guide. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us. So many videos in the pipeline for our channel over coming weeks and months. Stay tuned for those. Remember to be subscribed so you know when they drop. While waiting for those, we have several videos you can watch here and indeed over here. and we'll see you in those.